In late 2021, China switched on a container terminal in Tianjin that its own operator describes as needing almost no human workers to run. But before we get into what it actually does, here's the honest warning. Some of the most repeated numbers about this port online are wrong. Today, we're separating what's confirmed about Tianjin's automated terminal from what's just marketing copy that got repeated until people believed it. You'll see the real capacity of this terminal, the technology actually running it, and the specific claims that don't hold up under scrutiny. Start with the basics. This is the Tianjin Port's second container terminal, often called the world's first smart, zero-carbon container terminal. It became fully operational in late 2021 and sits on 3 berths, each rated to handle 200,000-ton vessels. Here's the first correction. The terminal's designed annual handling capacity is roughly 2.5 million 20-foot equivalent units, not the 8 million figure that circulates online. The wider Tianjin Port, across every berth combined, handles approximately 20 to 23 million TEUs a year, making it one of the 10 busiest ports on Earth. So the smart terminal is one high-tech piece inside a much larger, mostly conventional port complex. Now to what's actually real about the automation, because there's genuinely a lot here worth taking seriously. The system runs on an integrated stack of 5G networking, BeiDou satellite navigation, and automated stacking cranes at both the waterside and the yard. Autonomous guided vehicles move containers between the quayside cranes and the yard blocks, following magnetic guide paths embedded directly into the terminal floor. These AGVs have accumulated multi-year operating periods without a major collision, a track record port engineers cite as strong proof the technology actually works. The control system combines cloud computing with on-site edge processing, handling decisions in real time as containers move. Chinese press reporting says the AI logistics software was trained on decades of veteran drivers' real-world experience. That training gives the system built-in heuristics about container handling that older, first-generation automated ports simply didn't have. Here's the second correction. The widely repeated claim that exactly 9 people run each shift should be treated with real caution. The operator has said publicly that on-shift staffing is very low, but that's different from a specific audited number of 9. International consultants and peer-reviewed assessments describe the terminal as significantly less labor-intensive than comparable manual terminals, not literally staffed by 0 humans. Here's the third correction. A 700-meter key length figure shows up in some promotional descriptions, but that number appears to come from marketing copy, not audited public specifications. So 3 separate viral claims, 8 million TEU capacity, exactly 9 workers, and a 700-meter key, all trace back to promotional material rather than confirmed data. Now here's what independent reporting does confirm, and this part is genuinely impressive on its own. Riding speed at the smart terminal runs substantially above comparable terminals elsewhere in the world. Loading operations that used to take hours have been reduced to roughly 10-minute windows for individual container moves. The Guardian, People's Daily, and CCTV have all reported operators running the terminal through typhoon season and winter fog without major disruption. Turnaround times have been repeatedly reduced since the terminal launched in late 2021. Huawei and other technology partners have cited the broader Tianjin complex as a best practice case study for port digitization. By 2024, Tianjin Port's total container throughput had climbed past 22 million TEUs across all its berths combined. Smart scheduling is now being extended across the entire port, not just the automated terminal, as part of Tianjin's plan to stay competitive on the Pacific Rim. So why does the exaggeration even matter if the real technology is already this advanced? Because separating fact from marketing is exactly what lets you compare Tianjin honestly against other automated ports around the world. Hamburg, Rotterdam, and Los Angeles have all moved toward partial automation over the past decade. None of them have matched Tianjin's claimed end-to-end integration of the entire working surface, from crane to yard to AGV. That's a real competitive edge, and it doesn't need an inflated 8 million TEU number to sound impressive. The honest version of this story is actually more interesting than the inflated one, because it's verifiable. An entire working key was built around the assumption that fewer humans are needed to run it, and the system has performed at or above its actual specification. The magnetic guide paths alone represent a design choice most Western ports haven't committed to at this scale. Multi-year 0 major collision records for the AGVs are the kind of operational data that's hard to fake or exaggerate. 10-minute container moves, down from multiple hours, is a productivity jump that shows up directly in shipping schedules and costs. Running through typhoon season without major disruption tells you the automation isn't just efficient in ideal weather. It's built for the actual conditions of a working seaport. Compare that to older automated terminals worldwide, which often still need larger human crews for exception handling and weather-related shutdowns. Tianjin's edge case handling, according to Chinese press reporting, comes from an AI system trained on veteran driver experience rather than starting from a blank model. That detail matters because it means the automation isn't purely theoretical engineering. It's built on decades of accumulated human port knowledge. So when you strip away the 8 million TEU myth and the exactly 9 workers myth, what's left is still a genuinely record-setting piece of infrastructure. 2.5 million TEU capacity at one terminal, 22 million TEUs across the whole port by 2024, and turnaround times other ports haven't matched. Those are the real numbers, and they didn't need any exaggeration to make Tianjin one of the most advanced ports operating anywhere on Earth right now. The lesson from all this exaggeration is worth sitting with for a second, because it happens with almost every major tech story out of any country. Promotional press releases get repeated by media outlets, then repeated again by content creators, until a marketing figure starts sounding like an audited fact. The actual verifiable story here didn't need that inflation. The real numbers alone already put Tianjin ahead of Hamburg, Rotterdam, and Los Angeles in automation depth. That's the difference between a headline built to go viral and a technology story built to hold up under scrutiny. Tianjin chose the second path without needing to, and the real data backs it up completely on its own. 3 berths, 200,000-ton vessel capacity, 5G and BeiDou integration, magnetic-guided AGVs, and a multi-year zero major collision record. That's not marketing language. That's the confirmed operational profile of the terminal as it stands today. If you want to understand where global shipping infrastructure is actually heading, Tianjin's confirmed numbers are a far better guide than its viral ones. The zero-carbon framing the terminal uses for itself is also worth remembering, since it ties directly into the automated, electrified equipment running the whole yard. None of that framing needed the exaggerated numbers either. The zero-carbon design and the automation are already the real story on their own. So the next time a number like 8 million TEUs or exactly 9 workers shows up in a headline, this is exactly the kind of claim worth checking against independent reporting. That single habit, checking a viral number against outlets like The Guardian, People's Daily, or CCTV, is the difference between repeating marketing and understanding what actually happened. If breaking down exaggerated tech claims like this interests you, there's another video on this channel doing the exact same fact check on a completely different piece of infrastructure. Go watch that one next, because separating real engineering from marketing copy is a pattern worth understanding well beyond just one port in China.